Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I haven't done that ever, and I felt that some of you need to hear this message. It came very strong in a meditation, and so I thought I got to share it. I got to share this because this is something that changed my life. And sometimes we're just about to make a decision and we don't make it. And when we make it, it's life changing. So I just want to first off, bonus message for you is that sometimes we keep things inside of us, and this message can change someone's life. And so you might just right away from the start know that your message matter. You're maybe just one conversation away to change someone's life, and it could be something you're withholding, and it's time to let it out. It's time to be fully self-expressed. So the story I wanted to share is something that happened in 2019. At that moment, I was in transition. I knew that I would go from Vancouver to go to California. I didn't even know, none of us knew what would happen in 2020, right? And so it's about October. And, I was thinking about an intuition that I had, which was to go to Peru and to do a plant medicine. But, at that time, there was a lot of constraint on my financials. And so I was driving to US and, I stopped at this hotel, and I always will remember, when you're just about to make a decision. I was looking at the flights, and then I was just about to make that decision. But in my mind, I thought, I'm not going to do this until I have the money, or until this transaction, I was in real estate at the time, until I know for sure it's going to happen. And I was just in that midst of negotiation. The deal was about to fall apart. We were asking for an extension for the deal. The seller's agent's like, Francis, you've already asked, we can't do that again. And so now, everything's not sure. I thought they would work, but I don't know. And yet I'm thinking about going to do my ayahuasca ceremony for the first time, plant medicine. I know it's life-changing. I've had so many signs to do it. And I'm opening my computer, and I'm just looking at the flights, and I'm just about to click, I go, but I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. I'm just thinking, what if this deal is not working? Well, what am I going to do? And, it's a lot of money, and all of this is in my mind. And I don't know if you've ever seen, I don't think I've ever seen that thing again. There's that refresh button, and I probably refreshed it, I'm not going to lie, 10 times. So it's every 10 minutes. And then the prices were starting to go up. It was just insane. The amount of emotion that I felt was crazy. And so I'm debating, I don't know what to do. And then at one point I decide, I'm just going to close my computer and I need to go. I need to go drive to San Diego for this event. And as I'm going down, I kind of decided, I'm going to go to the restroom just before I go. And I'm going to the restroom. And I just thought, the last time I wanted to go to Machu Picchu, because that was also part of the deal, not only doing the ayahuasca ceremony, which I will tell you, this is another super big life lesson. So I'm in a restroom and I'm thinking, hold on a minute. The last time I was thinking about going to Machu Picchu was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And I didn't go. So I'm thinking, this is crazy. Are you going to wait another 20 years before you go to Machu Picchu? Are you going to still have the same excuse, which was financial, again? And so I decided, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go. I'm not waiting for a confirmation before I do what I want. So I just left the restroom, went at the check-in counter, reopened my computer. The clock was still ticking, and then boom, I decided to go. Bam, I made that decision. And I kid you not, half an hour later, I got the call, and everything was good. The deal went through. The bank was finally agreed, and it all happened. So is this a coincidence? I think from all the experience that I've had so far, is that things are starting to change when we make a decision. Things are starting to change when we make a decision. We got to decide, because until you make that decision, things are going to not change. You really have to make that change, that internal change, that commitment to say, I choose to go, and then the how is going to show up. But this is a leap of faith. And so I'm so glad that I made that decision, and I was rewarded because it didn't matter. I would have find the solution. You need to make a decision. So that was my step number one of something I felt that you need to hear this. So maybe in your life right now, you're just about to make a decision and there's fear in the way, or you don't know how. There's so many things that are going in your mind. You have the monkey mind. It's all in your head. It's not in your heart. So do you want to wait another year, another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? For me, like that decision to go to Machu Picchu was 20 years before that. And I'm pretty sure that if I would have waited for that same excuse, maybe that would be 20 years or never. So what's the decision that you must make right now? Maybe that's why you're watching this. I know. I don't know why. I just know that it's resonating. And first off, it's timeless message, because maybe 5 years from now, somebody's going to, that's why I'm posting it on YouTube. I know it's going to stay. And people might just by coincidence, and there's no coincidence, watch this and say, I need to make my decision. I've been postponing that for way too long. And I know, and you can use my story, you will have a life-changing situation in your life. So I decided to go to Machu Picchu. And I'm going to San Diego, and now I just don't know what to expect. Like, this is the first time for me I'm doing plant medicine. There's so many signs that I've got. So I'll tell you my first ceremony, what happened. And this is very powerful because, you know, I've never done any psychedelics at this point. And so people are saying, so have you ever done any psychedelics? I'm like, no. And they're like, you're doing plant medicine right now? Like ayahuasca? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I'm doing this meditation. I don't even know what to expect, of course. And, you know, they say you have to have an intention. So I'm just, okay, so I have to have an intention. I didn't know that. So I guess my intention is I want to get rid of fear. That's my intention. I would love to remove fear in my life. How amazing would that be to live a life and be fearless? And so that's my intention. And that same day, you see the people that have done the ceremony the day before, and they're eating and they're telling their experiences, and you know, we're just about to do it. Imagine, like, I'm still feeling this, I don't know, this nervousness and anxiety about doing something you don't know what to do, right? And so I asked one girl and I said, so what's your best advice? What's your best advice before you do this? She said, just surrender. I'm like, okay, surrender. I guess that's what I'm going to do. So now we're just about to start the ceremony, and there's something beautiful about it. Like, it's in Peru, like the Mayoka, there's the shaman and the little priest with this leather skin, you know, like the little feathers, super small. And there's a reverence around this. And we're all in circles. And, you know, I don't have a cup, but imagine you have a cup and they give you this cup. And it's just a little juice that looks like molasses. And you know it's going to be powerful, but you have no idea what's going to happen. So, you know, I'm starting the ceremony. And then at one point, you know, you have the intention. Everyone have their own intention. And part of the plant medicine is that, you know, you purge, and there's a physical purge that's happening. And so I'm waiting, and people are starting to purge, and nothing's happening to me. Nothing's happening. And, you know, I'm like, well, I guess I can beat that. You know, I don't need anything. What? Ayahuasca? A joke. So now this is a doctor, and this place is beautiful. It's very secure. So she comes in and she's asking me, she said, so do you have any feeling? Do you feel anything? I'm like, nope, I don't feel anything. And at that point, like I said, like, people are starting to purge. It's pretty serious, pretty hard for them. And she said, all right, so now you have to drink some water. And she's like, we had 2 liters of water that we brought, and she's asking me to drink. So I'm like, okay, so I'm drinking. And she's like, more. And at that point, I have drank like a liter of water. So what comes in comes out, right? So I'm like, oh, that's going to be a lot of purge. But I have to surrender, right? So I drank a liter of water, and now I close my eyes and I'm still in that meditation. You know, I'm just waiting for something to happen that I don't know what's going to happen. And so now nothing happens. So the doctor comes in again. She said, do you have any vision? I'm like, I don't have any vision. So now I'm thinking, like, nothing's going to happen to me. Like, it's for sure. And so she said, all right. So she went to see the shaman, and the shaman told her something. She came back. She said, well, so do you want to have mapacho? Mapacho is kind of a little tobacco that when you take it, like it's just, I didn't know, it fuses with ayahuasca. It fuses with the spirit of ayahuasca. So I'm like, sure. Because now I remember the girl said, you got to surrender. So now I'm surrendering and taking this puff, and then I'm out. Now I'm seeing the universe. I'm seeing everything. I'm looking at this, and I'm realizing, whoa, this is what we are seeing right now, and this is true. It's proven by quantum physics. We're only seeing 1% of reality. Actually, 0.0001% of reality. 99.99999 is the real reality. We don't even see it. It's all energy. So now I'm kind of seeing this veil. I'm thinking, what, like who we are right now is just like a simulation. This is what it is. So I'm going into this ceremony. I'm realizing there's another world, and here comes a very important message, because now what happened is that you kind of have a conversation, you can say, with your higher self, with the spirit, or whatever is coming. And so I'm seeing an image of myself when I was 5 years old, doing a swimming lesson, and that's the last lesson. And the teacher at the time, that happened for real. So I'm remembering this. The instructor said, Francis, you got to jump. You got to jump. You got to jump to finish this class. And if you don't, you're going to fail. And I'm looking at the height. I'm like, I'm not jumping. Sorry, but I'm not jumping. She said, Francis, you got to jump. I'm like, I'm not jumping. She said, well, you're going to fail if you don't jump. I'm like, well, I'm not jumping. And I didn't. So I failed swimming lesson. And I was a very good swimmer. But then, kindergarten, I failed kindergarten, the swimming lesson. So, because I didn't want to do it. So that's kind of what I saw. And what's interesting is after that, the message was like, well, sometimes, you don't want to do something, Francis, and people want to ask you to do something and you don't, and that's fine. I'm like, sure. Yeah, that sounds like a good life lesson. Yeah, you stand your ground, you have your boundaries. Perfect. And then out of nowhere, this is where it's very important for you, because I would love you to imagine. You can close your eyes, you can do whatever you want, but just imagine what I would feel if you had what I'm just about to tell you. Because all of this sudden, I heard the spirit, and the spirit said, by the way, I own your breath. I get to choose when you have it and when you don't. And then all of a sudden, I feel like the air inside my lung is being expelled out, and I'm starting to breathe like, because the air is leaving my body. I'm like, and then it comes back, and then I'm like, whoa, I'm having a hard time to breathe. And then it's leaving, it's coming and going and coming and going, and then at one point it stops. I'm like, whoa, what happens? And so you have to remember, I'm doing a plant medicine. I don't know if that's something that's supposed to happen. I don't know if it's a side effect. And, keep in mind, I had, don't waste your, the intention I had is the fear, right? Like, I want to get rid of fear. So I'm just like, what is happening? And so all of a sudden, I'm like, well, that must be just a side effect. As I said that in my mind, I hear the voice said, I don't think you got me. I decide, I get to choose when you have it and when you don't. So now all of a sudden, like, the breath is leaving me, like, fully, almost. And now, like, I realize it's really leaving. I'm almost thinking I'm dying. And then I had to do like what the MMA fighters are doing, like just take my hand and just kind of do that on the floor. It's like, I surrender. And then all of a sudden, the air just came back, and I'm, oh my God, like, thank you. You're right. Like, I don't get to choose it. I don't know when it's leaving my body. I don't know when it's coming and leaving. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my breath. I'm so happy I have it, because now you're just like, that's why I wanted you to imagine, like, if when it's leaving, and it's like you don't know where it's going, and you're my life. And so finally I got the breath back, and the message was like, so I said, well, thank you. She said, good. Now that you know it, don't waste your breath. I'm like, that's the message. Don't waste your breath. So I want you to imagine that right now, like, life is precious. We have no idea when it's leaving. I've got a friend, 62 years old, that died about a month ago. I had another one, 47 years old, 2 years ago. And I did ask myself, have I been alive while I'm alive? Am I doing to the maximum of my potential? Am I fully living? Because I don't know when I'm going to leave. And so for me, maybe that's the spirit to tell me again, Francis, don't just play small. Don't waste your breath. This is important. This is precious. Like, you've been given this gift. The odds that you're here on earth, like 1 in 400 trillion, like, we have a chance to win the lottery 1,000 times easier. It is. So just can we remember? And that's a remembrance for me. And I know that it makes sense for one of you, or more than one of you, or you right now listening to this. Don't waste your breath. And what's very interesting is that after that, I heard another voice, and it said, and I want you to use your voice. Lesson number 3. And that same year, I did a cliff jumping, and the cliff jumping was 40 feet high, and I had an injury when I did it. Like, I just kind of tilted like in the wrong way, and my whole back was red. It was really painful. And then I was in Croatia, and I had this challenge again to jump, and it was about the same height, 12 meters. I think it's very similar. And so I'm looking at it, and that was difficult for me, because now I'm thinking about the last time I did it. I got hurt. So bonus little lessons on that is that if you're just in your head and you're thinking about all the reasons why things will be wrong, it's terror, it's torture. You're never going to do it. So I knew that I had to imagine something else. Focus your attention not on what you don't want. Focus your attention on what you want. So I imagine I'm going to get out of this water, and I'm going to be so happy I did it. So it took me some time. It was terrorizing. I finally did it. The day after, we're doing it again. And then there's a trick. The guy said, you just yell a mantra. You yell a mantra, and then you jump. You don't wait. Don't wait. You just do it. Do it. So I didn't know what to think of. I'm in Croatia, this beautiful water, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to yell, I'm a Viking. And I did, and it was great. So now going back to ayahuasca, when I heard, and I want you to use your voice, I knew immediately what it meant. And it meant yell, I'm a Viking. I'm thinking, I don't need to do this. Come on. Like, I've done it this summer. I don't need to prove anything here. And, there's 4 people now. Everything's quiet. Everything's nice. People are just kind of more relaxing. The purge is gone. They're in their ceremonies. I'm like, really? Am I going to do this? And then remember my intention, right? And then the voice came back. She said, so sorry, am I hearing fear here? Yeah. So yeah. I was afraid of, what I would look like in front of everyone to do this. And I'm okay. You know what? I'm committed to my intention. I want to feel the fear, and I'm going to do it. So I was on the side, just thinking of it. I'm like, F this. I'm just going to do it. And then I started to yell, I'm a Viking. So now imagine, like, the doctor came. She's like, are you all right? Are you all right? Like, I'm like, yeah. It's just kind of a little dare that I have with the spirit. And then spirit came again, and she said, good. Just know that every time you use a voice, I'm going to give you all the support you need. And it's true. I got the doctor, I got the nurse came just as I used my voice. So this is a message for you. Use your voice. Use your message. I've been hearing for the last 2-3 days, don't die with the music still inside you. That was Wayne Dyer's. You can say don't die, and thanks to one of my friend, Roslyn, that connected. Thanks to a live that I did years ago in Facebook, she wouldn't be even my friend if I didn't share, if I didn't use my voice. So sometimes using your voice can influence another person, or you can create new friends. You can just, like, there's so many things that can happen when we use your voice. You use your voice. So going back to the whole thing, I know that you needed to hear this for the fact that, sometimes we are thinking about all the excuses and the reasons why we shouldn't do something. And imagine what I would have missed Like, this story would have not been told. I would have missed to be in Peru. There's so many other lessons. And to me, just know that don't waste your breath. Use your voice. If it wasn't from me making that decision initially to just say, I'm not going to wait until things are changing. I'm changing inside me first. And then things will rearrange, because the first thing we need to do in order to change a situation is to change our way of thinking, is to make a decision. That's where everything starts. None of that would have happened for me if I didn't make that decision. We want to have a guarantee, and there's no guarantee. The first guarantee you can make is inside you, and just to say, how long do I want to wait for this? Do I want to wait another 20 years? Like, why? Make that decision. And it's not always easy, and of course the mind finds the excuses, and they could sound valid. But if we really have faith, and I believe that we can choose to have faith that the divine, the creator, the universe is always giving you the lesson, the challenge that you need to have in your life, that's meant precisely for you. And then when we have faith, it gives us peace, and we just act. And then we are rewarded by everything that we need. That's all. And the timing sometimes is not exactly what we want, but we just got to make that decision. And after that, once you've made your decision, don't waste your breath. Just do it. Do it. Don't wait. Use your melody inside you. Use your skill, your gifts, the things that you've been postponing for a while, that you know full well that is inside you, and you don't want to die with the music still inside you. So use your voice. And when you do, I promise things are going to start to change. You're going to get all the support you need. And we got to surrender. So that's the story. I hope that inspires you to don't delay for the things you've been waiting for. Life is precious. Your life is very precious. Don't waste your breath. Use your voice. If you want more of those stories, I feel like my voice needs to be activated. Subscribe if you're on YouTube right now, or like, and I'd love to hear, what is it from you that you feel now? You feel in your bones. Speaking from my heart right now. What is it? That thing, like if you close your eyes, what is the action, the project, the conversation, the objective, the dream that I've been postponing, that I need to make a decision on it right now? It could be, I'm hearing, a relationship. It could be to either go to the next level with the relationship or end the relationship. I don't know. You know it. So make that decision. And then just remember, life is precious. Don't waste your breath. Go for it. Use your voice, and everything will be given to you. So, curious, give me your feedback. What happened to you? I love you. And we'll talk soon.